We're here to talk about gaps in your brand. Can you fix the mismatch? In the Brand Doctor podcast with Rich Kozak. Stay tuned and check out these rich strategy nuggets that you can use right now.
This is the Brand Doctor podcast with Rich Kozak. Here we positively uplift possibilities for your brand with straight talk that you can trust. Does your brand need more clarity? Maybe you're stuck at the starting gate of the next level of your brand. In any case, bring your vision and your challenges right here to the Brand Doctor podcast. Today, we're lifting up the brand journey of Maritza Perez, agency founder and CEO of Virtual Assist, and she's now transforming her team into a higher visibility agency. Maritza speaks to audiences of entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, authors, who want to increase their visibility and share their message with more impact. Maritza Perez, I know that many of our listeners' businesses and their lives will benefit by what they hear today on this show. So welcome, my friend. I am so glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you, Rich.
Maritza, what was in your heart when you founded MP Virtual Assist?
I had in my heart the intention to solely help entrepreneurs who needed assistance. And I saw that they needed virtual assistants. They didn't need an ongoing assistant because their companies were not big enough. And I also saw how many skilled professionals had to leave their careers to take care of their family elders at home.
Bless their heart for doing that, right?
Yes. And I feel for them as I end up being one of them. I take care of my mother. And I saw that they needed good, flexible work. They needed more time and more freedom to spend time with their family members. And now, because they had to leave their career, they don't have that second income in their household. So, and they have to still produce something. So what I saw was that I could help them grow their consulting firms, their coaching or speaking or authoring businesses from home. Also helping them have probably a work where they can get paid for results, not how many hours they work.
Oh, in case they actually join your team as a virtual member. So got it. So either way, okay, so all right. Thank you. Let's talk about the vision you have. As your agency evolves, what is your vision of the impacts that your agency's work will have on these new entrepreneurs when your brand is thriving?
So when we are thriving, these new entrepreneurs and many cases solopreneurs, what they want to is move from overwhelm to going forward and growing faster. Because our teams are going to help them deliver their messages and expertise to their target audiences and more frequently. And they support them also as they grow and guide them with the delivering these messages. And this is by individualized strategies that help them deliver these messages and guide them with these delivering in more effective ways.
I love the individualized. That's something that they might not really expect. Individualized strategies to get credit for their messages and guiding them and delivering those messages effectively. That is such a blessing. What a delight when they find out. So you overcoming overwhelm is powerful to new entrepreneurs. That's really nice, Maritza. Okay, so let's talk about branding. Obviously, you're a woman of vision. You're evolving to your next level of how the agency delivers value and individualized strategies. What feels challenging to you when you think about branding your vision, Maritza?
Well, here's what is challenging, Rich, is to how clearly project that vision of an agency of professionals who create individualized strategies, personalized for each client in a way that our ideal target clients hear that, see that, feel that. How to do it.
Okay. Well, that was a pretty clear picture. So thank you for that clarity. Ironic that you had great clarity in saying you need to project clarity. So I'll deal with that. Ready? I'm going to tell you a little story and it'll be short. One of my clients is in the financial services industry, and there are a lot of people who say they're in the financial services industry. There's like a financial consultant, and he's been there for more than 30 years. He got to a point he did not want to be the same as everybody else pitching products. He wanted to make sure he educated people and that they knew years before they were going to, stop saving and start spending because they're going to retire, how that worked and how to prevent a third of their income from disappearing. But if he used the language that everybody else did, he would be perceived as just the same. The strategy nugget is you have the opportunity, and I'll mark it here for you, for every listener. This is the first rich strategy nugget in this call. You have the opportunity to reframe how you name and talk about the results you produce and the impacts that your target audience people experience. You have the opportunity to reframe how you name it and talk about it. You can create language, you can put together words that everyone already knows in different ways to name what you do so that it doesn't sound like others and it puts you in a unique, in this case for you, Maritza, and your evolving team, at a higher level, and the words reflect the values that the target audience really cares about and will pay for. Here's the action item. Write this down, every listener. Look at the results. Write them down. What results does your work produce? Now, for Maritza, because they work at a higher level, she's going to write down a bunch of, let's take individualized strategy. You don't need me to point out that you will not get individualized strategy from a virtual assistant in the Philippines. Typically, you will get whatever you ask them to do, and that's what a virtual assistant is, but it typically doesn't come at that level. You need somebody that fires on more cylinders, someone that has broader experience, someone that's been through it, someone that's built it, not just teaches it or not just say they know it, but they've done it. So write down those results you create and write down the impacts that your work has on your target clients. If they stand in a class by themselves, because you're Maritza and you have given them strategic language to explain what they do or what the effect of their work is, and you set them apart. That's going to be on your list.
Excellent.
Write down the results you create and the impacts you have. And remember, impacts come in levels. So your target audience might reframe how they see possibilities. You might coach them to take on a new skill set or a new mindset. Then when they do that, they create new behaviors. These are all different higher level impacts. New behaviors, new results. Maybe the results, they may become abundant, and now they share their abundance or their success with the community or with their whatever. Impacts come in levels. Write them all down and then select the language that gives you the most credit for the highest level impacts and results that you create. All right, Maritza, so that hopefully will help. We can talk about that some more, but honest to goodness, that is part of consistent language that transfers energy, which is one of those things, one of those 4 things that make a brand come alive and not fall flat, or in your case, not be perceived just like everybody else, but sets them apart in a class by themselves. I'll give you an example. One of my earliest clients happened to be trained by a high-level yogi, and she was pedigree, and she wanted to create a unique, high-end, very expensive one-on-one yoga studio. And we created the term body intelligent yoga. Nobody'd ever heard that before. You know the word body, you know the word intelligent, you know the word yoga, but you never heard of body intelligent yoga. That's an example of 3 words that you're very, very familiar with, put together in a way you've never heard. And it makes people do this. Whoa, why body intelligent yoga? I've been doing yoga for years. I never heard of that. What's that? I think I want that. Okay. I think that's enough. What is it about evolving and in your case, really rebranding your agency and what you stand for? And look, you personally, Maritza, because you're the visionary, that feels difficult, even like a struggle when you think about evolving and rebranding?
Is mainly what you just mentioned a few minutes ago. People are interpreting and perceiving our agency as virtual assistants. And our agency provides higher level of strategies and guiding and delivering and execution that are much more, are more than that.
Of course. Okay. So here I'm going to tell you another little story. I'll do it quickly and then be ready for that rich strategy nugget. This one you can take to the bank. A woman who ended up as a good client of ours at Rich Brands attended our special half-day event named Branding You with Impact. We do one of those every month. Sometimes we do 2 every other month, at the end of which I teach 2 segments. I don't want people to leave until they realize that if you want to get granular about any area of marketing or branding, I've been doing it 46 years, so I can speak for months. Let's go. On common struggle topics, right? And the day she heard the segment about logos and taglines, she sat up straight in her chair as I said, there were only 2 times to evolve or change and promote the logo. Only 2. 1, you got acquired and you don't have a choice. 2, which means it's the only time something strategic has shifted in the way you do business, the business you do, what you deliver, what you create. Something strategic has shifted. And here's the rich strategy nugget. When that's the case, that's the only time that it's worth the time and money and effort to use a logo change, evolution, to strategically signal something's different. When you change it, now it has a new tagline, it has a new look. You've taken it to a new level, and you point out our logo reflects how our business has gone to a new level. You get credit for the strategic shift by using the recognizable trademark of a logo and shifting it to the higher level. And it can't look homemade. Okay, seriously, do not do that. But if you have a new service or a new division or a new partner, or it's a new positioning, like in your case, or a new service set that they didn't know you had before, and now you've got to have them know it because it's up here, not down there, that's a good time. So write this down. Make a list. It shouldn't be too big, but what changes are ahead in what you do? And we're going to start doing this. We're going to expand this. We're going to create a new weekend retreat. What changes are ahead in what you do? Got a book coming out, do a podcast, create a clubhouse. Well, I don't, doesn't matter. Write them down. What changes are ahead? Number 2, mark which of those changes are significant shifts that people wouldn't expect. They don't think you do it. Or if you said, we do this right, and they go, no, and they're confused, just mark the ones that are a significant shift.
Yes.
3, review the language of your brand, the keywords you use, the things on your website, on the about page, the things on your bio as an individual and the founder, the things on your fact sheets, the words you use to describe what you do. Some of those are going to be old and gone. Mark, this is step 4, which of those words become obsolete, outdated, untrue, end of life, misrepresentative, confusing. Number 5, look at your lists and the marks you've made and ask yourself, is it time we use a shift in the logo and the tagline to strategically signal a new level, a shift in how we deliver and what we deliver or whom we serve or whatever? If the answer is yes, keep writing this creative brief for logo development.
Okay.
If you don't write a creative brief, you want to know more about it, send us an email to Rich@RichBrands. What the heck's a creative brief? Fine, I'll send you an example. Write a creative brief for logo development, because any creative project can go all over the map if you don't give the creators, by the way, that's why they call them creatives. They're like, how about this? Yeah. Guidelines, like the bumpers on the bowling alley. Okay, so the ball can't go in the gutter. Okay, a creative brief that says these are the objectives in priority order of the logo. These are the elements that must be in the logo. These are the colors that are required, if they are required. If you don't have a palette, that might be one of the opportunities there, is to shift the palette and systematize it so everything looks the same. But it's just from the scratch, a creative brief. That creative brief will make sure that any creative ideas that come back meet the brief. And you just tell whoever's doing it, do not bring me any ideas that don't meet the brief. That's it. That will bless your life. It will save you tons of money and time. People have made so many untrained, unknowing errors by flying into logo development, or doing it when it doesn't matter, wasting time, wasting money. Oh, we already did that. Let's just use what we've got. It's one of your most important strategic signaling devices, and it marks the source. That's one of the logo. It's a recognizable trademark. So make sure it works for you beautifully when you evolve it. All right.
Yes. Wow.
Okay,
Rich.
thank you. In this episode of The Brand Doctor, we have lifted up the brand journey of Maritza Perez. Maritza is a founder and CEO of MP Virtual Assist, and she is evolving her brand to higher levels of individualized and personalized service and strategies. What a delight. It'll be such a blessing for your clients. In this episode, you gained insight into reframing language and the description of results and the values so that your brand can position itself and talk at a different level and get credit for delivering at the level you deliver. You gained insight into strategizing the if and when to evolve or change or rebrand by changing your logo and tagline, realizing there's only one good time that you control. All right. You'll get contact information for our guest today in the show notes so you can take advantage of all that her brand has to offer. And I highly recommend it. By the way, she speaks to entrepreneur groups about how to grow your business faster by using a service like hers. It is a delight. People are so thrilled to find it. Make sure you have her come and speak to your group. And even more information is available if you just email us at rich@richbrands.org. Please remember, the Brand Doctor podcast is dedicated to bring you strategies and actions to take your brand to its next level. So from our heart to yours, we encourage you to subscribe to the Brand Doctor podcast and check out the other episodes for strategy nuggets and action items that you can take right now. We'll speak with you again in our next episode. And remember, now is the time to define the brand you will become. Thanks for joining us. Goodbye.